Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and this is Transport Fever on the Gotthard Line. As you can see, our first train is merrily whistling its way past. Well, maybe not with quite so much whistling, but it's leaving plenty of smoke, and that's always a good thing. Yeah, it's currently making its way to Locarno with no passengers on board. Which is a shame because it just recently went in the opposite direction and it had 2 whole passengers. And that was a thing of beauty. Now, for those of you who tuned in last time, and I suspect that's all of you, and if you haven't, you've only missed one episode, go back and watch it. You'll miss important setup details, which I have since overwritten. Yes, you will notice that the Alps are now beautiful in their snowy majesty. I went back and restarted the game. I figured I was 1 episode in, so I've rebuilt everything exactly the way it was, this time loading it in such a way that we did not have patchy weirdness going on. Instead, we've got this rather unusual white band indicating where the snow is. Clearly, we're in spring and things are thawing. But I have rebuilt everything exactly as it was, and as requested in the comments last time around, I will no longer be renaming any towns at all. Consider my wrist well and truly smacked. I will be keeping the town names exactly as they are intended to be, and I will just have to butcher the pronunciation and you'll have to deal with it. Remember, friends, you brought this on yourselves. Anyway, in today's episode, we're going to expand. I've got 850 grand left. Using the 4 times time mod. For those of you unaware, what this mod does is it means that time ticks past at 1/4 of the speed. So your trains and everything, you know, running on them, and your boats and your planes and everything else, they all move normally, but they generate 1/4 the amount of profit and they cost 1/4 the amount of cash per run, per month, per time period, whatever it is. Look at this terrible bit of track laying. We'll have to fix that at some point. But the upshot is that it takes longer for you to get anywhere, which should mean that we collectively can enjoy the golden age of steam that much longer. Probably. Anyway, there's people. People are waiting here. In fact, there's more people waiting here than I've got room in my little carriage. Stay tuned. We shall resolve this immediately after these important messages. So as we approach the town of Bern here, you can see there are passengers aplenty. I'm going to pause just for a moment, otherwise all hell will break loose. So we've just made 3 and a bit grand there. He's trying to pick up passengers, but no, we're gonna send him straight to the depot. Now this is going to be my upgrade plan for a little while, because what I don't want to be doing is replacing the engine unless I absolutely need to. Even though you get you get change, effectively, so you get your recycle cost of the existing locomotive. I don't want to do that. Instead, every time we need to upgrade the thing, we'll pop it into the engine shed, and we will procure another whatever we need, which in this case is a passenger car. Now that's American. You can't fool me. And as much as what we will be doing, I want to stick another 4 probably on there. I can't go any further because that only leaves me $500,000 in the bank. We're going to have to hope that the little engine that can in this situation, because it's not the most powerful beast to have ever rained terror on the rails. So yeah, I think we're going to be about its limit as far as hauling is concerned. But it's look at a little thing. So there's a theme park train. This one, but that's now going to make me a reasonable chunk of change if I can keep filling it up, which I'm relatively optimistic I can. Then that will make me sound amounts of cash. Have we left people waiting? We have left people waiting. Excellent. As long as there's people waiting, I can continue to fill the train. Let's see what sort of blistering pace we set as we trundle along here. That's not the view we want. The best way to view a steam train is not from within it. There we go. Let's get rid of that. We'll get some Alps in the background, a bit of Lake Verhavertberg, whatever that is, and some trees, and the man ever watchful for incoming Zeppelins. Admittedly, we are a little early in the in history for Zeppelins, not by much, but by a little. Anyway, yes, so today what I want to do is I want to try and develop a goods line. I have absolutely no idea if that's even possible. I haven't scouted it out at all. But we'll have a skim around. Now, don't worry if you're not geographically au fait with this map. It's going to take me a little bit of time before I work my way around it. But hopefully we shall discover together the delights of this magnificent custom map. Let's see how much this chap earns. I am not going to up the tempo. We're going to enjoy the ride. The whole point of this this leisurely paced mod is to enjoy the pace in a leisurely fashion. And we'll wait till the end of December and then see how disastrously our first 9 months at the helm of our transit company see how poorly we performed. Right, so coming up on the end of the year, we're going to be paying the loan back, but we aren't far from the station where there are passengers awaiting their journey aboard this magnificent beast of a train. So this should pay quite nicely. Now, obviously, it's going to pay a quarter of the amount that it would normally. 19, so that's worth about 80,000. That's not bad at all. Now, just keep going. If we look at the running costs of this before we move on. So we made 19,000. It's cost us 11.5 so far. It cost us 22. So let's say 25 full year. So I'm going to need it to make 3 runs or more in order to be profitable. I think that's possible. And of course, dropping the passengers off here means that these, no, not the dude, talks the carts, there we go, means that these carts are actually going to have a fair shake at making some cash. In fact, let's talk to this chap. How you doing? Last year, running costs 748. You're making 334 every time you drop off. 3 drop-offs in a year, and you are profitable. Okay, now, obviously, these aren't making so much money that we're just riding the money printer all the way to the bank. No, not quite. You know, we're going to have to be a little more patient than that, but we'll see how we get on. Right, let's find ourselves a suitable destination to get some goods rolling. Right, after some fairly rigorous scouting, and I'm not kidding, I do mean rigorous, I think a route such as this one, this food development route, has real merit going for it. The problem is I'm going to want to do it by train, and there are 2 reasons why that's not a great idea. There's also other opportunities here. We could go that way, we could come this way. You know, there's a few choices we could go for in developing a food route. The reason not to do it, number one, it's going to be really expensive to set up, and I want to try and avoid going into debt too much too early. Now, for those of you who are familiar with my work, you will know that going into debt is a thing that's going to happen, and it's going to happen with, you know, an unnecessary level of vigor. So, you know, that's going to happen at some point. So we're going to try and avoid that for a little while if we possibly can. So it's going to be costly to set up. I mean, you've got the cost of the rail, you've got 2 stations at either end. You then need somewhere to drop it off. Now, Sarnen looks like the best candidate, but you're that close, you might as well go to Interlaken as well, Interlaken. Yeah, you might as well head to Interlaken and Sarnen at the same time, possibly even Stans. Now, all of that requires trains, it requires infrastructure. We could do it by wagon. The problem with that is that by the time your wagon's got here, you know, your wagon driver has died of old age. So it's just not practical to set that up by wagon. They are too slow. The other reason not to do it is that the trains I've got at this stage of the game are slow and really can't haul very much. So, with that in mind, I am putting a fork in the the notion of doing goods for the short term. We'll revisit them as soon as we've got the hardware and the cash to make it happen. The next thing I considered, I said, well, you've got to do something that's interesting. You can't just sit here and go, yes, we're going very, very slowly with our one train line. Well, how about it? How about some ships? You know, we could set up a beautiful passenger dock here, and it is a passenger dock, going from Interlaken, somewhere like that. Fling a couple of boats up the river, everybody's happy. And indeed they would be, except these are £250,000 a throw. I mean, seriously, that's a whole loan just to get two of those to get set up. I mean, you can get 400 grand out of it, but you end up paying that money back immediately in the cost of actually laying the flipping road. Although, saying that, 220 grand. That's 220 grand. That's not cheap. And the other thing about boats is they're slow. They're really, really slow. And while they will pay off, you need a volume of them in order for them to do so. Meanwhile, back here, you've just picked up. You've got 28. Why only 28? What's your problem? Does no one want to ride on the train anymore? Surely they do. Surely they do. Why would the demand have dried up so quickly? Oh well, there's 7 waiting. As long as you get well, that's going to torpedo that plan. Then, what I was thinking is I could double track up and get a couple of these running, because certainly there's the demand down here in wherever we are, Bern. But no, if there isn't demand at both ends, then I'm not buying. You're going to have to find something else. So what we'll do, and I'll hop over the other side of the mountain range here to Ingeborg and Schweiz, or Schwiz. It's one of the words like that. Hey, look, I'm going to pronounce it the way I pronounce it. Now these are trundling along. Where are you? You, trundler. No, not the dude. Talk to the cart, because the dude ain't listening. There we go. Dude's on board. This is significantly steeper than I gave it credit. There's the dude. So we've got 4 people on board there. We've got a person waiting to catch it. These were doing quite well when I looked a minute ago. Anyway, they're running. You know, we've got passengers merrily toing and froing up here. They're making me a bit of cash each year, and that's fine. That's all I need them to do. They don't need to be, avid money printers. And frankly, these two towns are going to merge in no time flat. But I think what I'll do is Ilgau here. We'll set up a Schwiz Ilgau route, and then a Mutatal to Ilgau. I tell you, you asked for this route as well. And then, there must be another one. There we go. Jordan Boden. Sorry, that was more of a terrible Swedish accent than anything else. That was my terrible Swedish accent. Maybe later. For now, what's the incline looking like? Look at this. This is going to make for a fantastic route once we've got the cash. I'm going to set this one in motion. And with a few of these, if they're paying off, then we should be in pretty good shape. So let's go Ilgau to Mutatau. Let's bang you right in the centre of town. There we are. Right. Excuse me there, line manager. And as you can see, lines are already picking up. In no time at all, we're getting lines built like that. There should be enough demand to get, 3, 4 wagons. Pretty happy with that. So this is communication, and that's, what's that, Muo. No, you need to be clicking in the right place there, Tiger. Come on. Muo commuter. Right, grand. And because I'm that way inclined, let's have another one. I can afford these. These are only wagons. They're cheap. Let's get bang for our buck. Let's go from Ilgau to wherever the hell this is. Don't know. Schwiz. Okay, there we go. Right, so this is SWZ, I believe I went for. Yeah, SWZ. Right, and it's a commuter. Now we use commuter as a denoter that it's taking passengers between towns. Passengers between towns. If it uses the road name, that's an in-town service. There is method to my method. Those of you who say madness, get out. Right, okay, let's bang a road depot somewhere in the way here. Obviously, had I not deleted the last one, now that would seem wise. However, right, this is going to be the slightly colder route, so we'll bang 4 of those on there, possibly a little bold, but off you trot. You chaps can go open top, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to go the other one, ill Swizz. There we are. Smashing. So those will pay off eventually. We're now down to 360 grand, which is barely enough to get a train route running. Which is no, hold on. Let's revise that. Which is not enough to get a train route running. So I'm going to have to borrow some money to expand further. No, we're about to throw all of that. Hold on, this looks promising. How flat is it? It's well flat, is what it is. All right, we're going to spend the money and make it happen. Now, in the comments, someone suggested that all of these original train lines that I set up, I should leave permanently in place as a historic, a heritage line kind of an idea. And I like that as a concept. I think that's got some merit. What if we double street this? Would you be willing to? You're going to need me to do a bit of engineering, aren't you? Well, that's everybody's favourite part of the show. Right, yeah, okay, we can do that. Actually, no, we can't. Let's not second street it for now. So yeah, will I leave these in place? Yeah, maybe I'll leave these in place. It might be quite a nice challenge actually to leave these as they are and try and get the town to build around them. All right, okay, that's it, done deal. Call me the anti-beaching. Everything that we play, that we set up in this era of the game, unless there is a very good reason, there we are, I've given myself a get out of jail free card there. Unless there is a really good reason, we will leave in play permanently, even if that means I have to build second stations at some of these towns later on. Come on, someone's got to give me better catchment than that. Surely. I don't want to bulldoze anything. I mean, I'll pay it if it's cheap. But, I don't want to... I've got precious little cash. There we go, that's the way to put it. One building will be removed. Make it so. All right, let's fling this up here until we run out of cash, which will be momentarily. A bit of that. Yeah, so I will leave these in place as a heritage line. I might need to do a little bit of redevelopment, but I like the idea of keeping these as an oldie-timey branch line kind of an idea, with main stations springing up elsewhere in the town. And as mentioned last time around, what I'm intending to do, instead of pre-booking space to place upgraded stations, upgraded routes into, what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to fully embrace the bulldozer. Now that means earning more cash. I'm comfortable with earning more cash. Give me some cash. But fundamentally, what it means is, yeah, we're going to be spending a lot when it comes to upgrading. So this is Wolfenschießen to hold on, get a bit closer so we can read it. Ennetbergen. See if you say so. Wolf to Ennetbergen. ENB, I think. I think we like that. All right, good. I've got £500,000 left in the bank. I hope that's enough to buy a train and a couple of commuter routes, because I need that. I don't want to borrow any more money. You know what? Also, get used to this as a concept. Yeah, that's right. I just bought a big American number. Now, I'm gonna try and alternate between North American and European trains and vehicles of all kinds as we set up new routes. Once we kind of, formalise setup later on, Europeans, just pretend this is Colorado or something, all right? Get comfortable. Yeah, this is some strange hybrid world where we will use whatever vehicles take our fancy. But we will try and segregate the routes to a degree. Thank you. So that we're not overly crossing the streams. There is no ocean here, but frankly, if you're asking me to choose between the vehicles of one side of the Atlantic and the vehicles of the other side of the Atlantic, I can't. I like them both a lot, so I'm going to use them both. My series, my rules. You want to say it differently? Make your own series. Right, let's try and get a passenger route up. There's no way I can afford this. From there, just straight down the deep end, do we think? I reckon that'll work. Okay, we only need one commuter route there. It's only a little place. Well, it's not actually that little. For this stage of the game, it's actually quite well developed. And then we'll do similar over here, although I do want the better one. Seriously? I mean, you're spending money like water already, man, he says, lamenting the 5,000 he's about to lash out on her. Why are you not connecting? There you go, 7,000. Yeah, all right. Yeah, well, I suppose a couple of grand between friends. And then we'll stick there we are. Right, over here, well, we're clearly going to need two. We'll need one over here, and then one. I mean, do we go over here, or do we go down? Let's go down to the deep end. That ended up on the side of the road I wasn't particularly envisaging there, but no matter. Right, let's do this one. Actually, this is the bigger town. I've got more investment going on here. Okay, and then you are going, oh, no, that. From the branch over to Chester. That's his name. So this is N. Did we go for the ENN? Is that what we just? ENB. ENB Chester. ENB. There's some weird kerning going on there. Chester. And this one's ENB Victoria. Fair enough. B Victoria. Grand. Now what you need is some wagons. Okay, fine. That's 10 grand for a wagon centre. Which I'm going to stick halfway between the two, so it can service both. I don't want to spend it twice. Buy me some road vehicles. How much are these? 13 and change each? You've got to be kidding me. That's expensive. I've only got 9 grand. It is only the 4th of July though, so if we hang around for a minute or two, we should end up with a bit more cash in the bank. Okay, well, our American friend here is trundling along, and we do indeed now have a little bit more cash in the bank. I mean, it's not going to set the world alight or anything, so I'm going to go for 2 of these. You there, my friend, you can go on ENB Victoria, and you can go on ENB not Victoria. I'd rather have more vehicles than that, but I'm going to run with what I've got for now. Of course, yeah, you're looking at Wolfenschießen there. It doesn't really matter. That's fine. That's all good. It would be nice if we had some passengers turn up. Any passengers at all, any passengers in the slightest turning up would be absolutely brilliant. And clearly, they're just waiting for this to kind of build up. I mean, what's the catchment here? The catchment's not horrible. It's not that good. We'll see. Obviously, these two are going to take the rest of my natural life to arrive. But all I really need is just some signs of life from this passenger route, because I've sunk a reasonable chunk of change into it, and as a result, it would be rather pleasing to see it, performing at all. Any passengers? Tell me I haven't just backed the wrong horse. Or town. Oh, hold on. This chap looks like he knows what's what. Yeah, he's definitely going places. He's going to the shops. Clearly not for something urgent. It's not like he's run out of toilet paper or something, because, you know, it's going to take him a little while longer than that to get there. You know what? Let's set ourselves up for a dramatic wagons. This landscape's really quite bland. As much as it's, you know, it's nicely lumpy. Someone needs to go manic with the tree gun here. There you go. It's quite nice. I'll tell you something else. At this stage of the game, frame rate rock solid. Nay, resplendent. A resplendent frame rate is what we have. Let's get on. You know what? I haven't ridden on a cart for a while. Let's do that. Hey, that's the stuff. In fact, I haven't ridden on a cart following a cart ever. Okay, well, that's maybe not quite as dramatic as I might have hoped. Well, check out the cornering on that. No body roll whatsoever as it takes the corner. Clearly, the sports setting they've got this tuned to right now. Right, good. Now our commuter route's getting running here. Hopefully, it will generate just a smidge of interest in actually riding around town somewhat. There we go. Where are we going? Round the corner. That'll make you dizzy. And again. And apparently, over here, just south of the, on the Swiss-Italian border, Uncle Sam wants us for the army. Uncle Sam getting his bids in well and truly early there, and arguably on the wrong continent. But then, given that we are in some strange wonderland where people from many continents live together, so be it. Hey, that also it kicks the door open for me to have Russian and Chinese stuff on here as well, of which there is plenty on the workshop, so that's kind of cool. Still no passengers though, which is, you know, a slight disappointment. Anyone at all? Any of you idiots? What about you? No, you're going home. Is your home down the road on the train? No, it's not. What about you? Where are you going? You're not even crossing the road. You're clearly not interested. All right, well, let's set up the commuter route here. These people maybe look possibly, or either that or they're just teasing me. They're just going, oh, maybe I'll take the train to... No, I don't really want to. So where are we? This is South Street, and this is Wolfenschiessen. Wolfenschiessen? Surely not. Okay. Which is going to be WLF, obviously, Queen. Wolf Queen, love it. No, it's not Queen. Queen is the station. Wolf South. Less exciting. Right, I need 13.5 grand in order to put another wagon in service, and I'm going to get wiped out at the end of the month, which is a bit of a downer. And then we'll have a quick look at the state of play insofar as our performance annually so far. The time for that to tick over just then would have been great. Come on there, slow mod. Right, okay, we just burned through 22 grand. So we've brought in 208,000. That's not bad. That's a pretty respectable number. Running costs of 118,000. Yeah. And where are we? Property maintenance 31. Loan interest is going to be what's that? An extra quarter on top of that. So that's going to be another 7.5. So 37,500 in terms of loan interest. Now, obviously, all the vehicles are going to cost more each year. We got 3 passengers. Woo! Still nothing going on in the sleepy burg of Wolfenschiessen, which is that's a shame. And I'm not going to take out another loan. Not going to happen. We're going, you know, I'm going to make it happen. Right, stay there. There we go, just under the wire for the year, and we're about to get thumped. There we go, 60 grand in the red. Just under the wire, and we managed to buy one cart to hopefully hoik a few commuters around in Wolfenschiessen. Now, the good news is that actually we do have a few commuting folk already starting to use the line, but this might help to pick up the pace a little. Although it's saying that a cart this slow will help to pick up the pace for anything at all is quite a ludicrous statement to make. But if we zip ahead, I can't hang around with this dude all day. We may have, there we go, a couple of brave souls waiting for the next train. They're currently debating whether or not they should just walk it, by the looks of things. I can't say I blame them. The train isn't the fastest thing you've ever seen. In fact, where are they going to? Are they going to Poland? Oh, they've had a massive disagreement. They are trying to get as far away from each other as possible. She's given up. She's decided that hanging out near the benches and bins, can't have a bench without a bin, is the way to go. This guy, you know, he's furious. Absolutely livid. He's so angry he's going to spend his time once he gets there just looking at the sky, questioning everything he knows about everything that's going on, and the fight that he just had, and he's going to wonder how it is he ended up in the doghouse. There, see, look, he's shrugging, he's just going to go, I don't know, mate, I don't know what I did wrong. You know, it's just one of those things. Anyway, we've got at least passengers waiting, all minor role-play exercises aside. And hopefully, once we've got commuters being toddled around a little bit, that'll make a bit more cash. Now, if we look at the full year report for last year, now we spent the best part of $500,000 on construction. We spent another $500,000 on vehicles. But the running costs in comparison to the income, 173 versus 308. That we can work with. That's, you know, that's a net of 200,000 a year. Which after you take away the loan interest, which I assume is not wrapped into that. Let's do some quick maths here. The loan is not wrapped into that. So what did I say it was? 200,000 a year. Is it though? Running costs of two? No, it's not. But you're going to net around 100,000 a year, not 200,000, 100,000. Okay, well that's not disastrous. But it means that I can expand for the time being by doing little commuting hops by road. And as long as I don't go overboard with those, that should generate the kind of income to actually allow me to get started. Now, the big hitters are going to be these trains, but obviously, you know, you need more than 2 passengers on board. Those 2 are getting on just famously. They're the same people. Half expecting Donald Sutherland to turn up in a minute and start pointing at people as being our plant pods. Yeah, so last year we burned 30 grand on that one in its running costs. We're still in January and it's already made 2. No, it's already made 4 this year. It is down, but I'm hopeful that that will pick up the pace as the year progresses. What are we got waiting here now? 3. 3's not going to cut it. I'm definitely going to have to invest in more carts as soon as I can afford them, but I do not want to tip the loan any higher. Although, is that a really terrible idea? It is a really terrible idea. We're going to speculate to accumulate. It's only another 7.5 grand a year. Let's get some flipping wagons on the go. Let's buy 2. Not enough money. Oh yeah, I've got to take the loan out first. It's not. They're not just going to automatically extend my overdraft. Right, there you go. Have 2 of those. Set them on Wolf South. I don't think we'd want to do that. I think we only want to send 1 of them. Send 1 of them to Wolf South. Should have done it earlier. I know. Never mind. I'm doing it now. It's going to pan out for the best. You can go on to the other one. The other one whose name is ENB, either of them. Chester. And we'll buy 1 more. And you can go on ENB Victoria. Right. Let's go and have a quick look at our other wagon trains that are currently running. Wagon services. So Ingeborg and Schwiz. we've got people waiting. Goodness me, that the turnaround on that wagon is pretty hellish. Anyway, 3 out of 4 passengers. What's your financial situation looking like? You made me 2 and a bit grand last year. Keep it up. What about the next one? You made me 2 and a bit grand last year. Excellent. Loving your work. As for you, you made me 2 and a bit grand last year. Okay, so this route is making me, about 10,000 a year. Okay, it's not quite got the demand to go any further than that. Meanwhile, on this epic route... what have you got there? Full load? Yep, full load. You've not made me anything yet. This is first arrival. Well, second arrival, I suppose. You made 875 quid last year. This one should be worth a bundle. 765. Well, make a bundle going back the other way and we'll talk. There you go. Full load. Full load's good. Possibly ought to expand that as well while we're in the area. So let's do that. Right. We'll just buy one more of those, and you can get on whichever one this is. That's Ilgau to Swizz, which is there. Okay, and then we'll buy one more that's going to do the other Ilgau route. Ilgau Mualgalaugalau. Miao Tatal, which is the way it should be pronounced. So these, hopefully, all 3 of these are full. Yeah? Yep, you've got a full load, and so have you, and you too. Excellent, good, right. Well, in which case, how much did you make me last year? Not a sausage. You lost money last year, but you didn't really get the time to do it more than once. And you, again, not great. What about the front runner? Or was that the front? That was the front runner. Okay, well, never mind. So I'm pretty confident those cart routes will pick up, particularly when the second cart is released, because the second cart's just a little bit faster, allows you to get a bit more done. But I think I've got the right kind of pieces in place to start to grow. This train route, if this train route were to start paying off, then we'd be in the money. Because this has the potential to generate as much as the other one does with knobs on, because it's a slightly longer route. But 2 passengers on board is not going to do it. Anyway, that will wrap it up for this time around. As always, the early stages are pretty slow going, and we just don't quite have the passenger numbers there yet to warrant doubling the track up, doubling the trains up. I could potentially put one more carriage on there, but I mean, look at it. It's wheezing along as it is. It's wheezing along at its max speed as it is. I could probably put another coach on there. But it's making good money. Made 146,000 in profit last year, right? It's giving you an accusative look to say, like, I am not the problem here, friend. I'm doing my bit for the glory of this empire, and over time I will continue to do so. So we'll leave him the hell alone. Just let him get on with it. Next time around, we'll expand a little bit further, but it is going to be slow to get started until we've got some consistent earning in place. I will not be using the no costs mod, with one exception. I may take the time to go and bulldoze all these rocks, because I think they look a bit weird. They're a tenner a throw as well. I'm not about to just lob the money away. So I might get rid of those rocks before the next episode. Chances are I won't, but it's crossed my mind. Let's put it that way. Anyway, thank you very much for watching today. I've been Colonel Failure. A new season, a new start. Can I ride on board with any of the passengers? That would be tremendous if I could. That would be the kind of finish that we really want for the show. Where anyone at all, anyone want to talk to me? Guess not. We'll just have to ride the train. That's a boring angle. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've been Colonel Failure. I'll be back in the relatively near future. It depends when you're watching this, I suppose. If you're watching these back to back, I'll be back as soon as you press play on the next episode. Chuck a like at this one if you enjoyed it. There we go. This is a good way out. Subscribe if you've not yet done so. Follow the train, man. Follow the train. Follow the train. And I'll catch up with you. Wrong button. Oh, for the love of God. It's like you've forgotten how to do all of your nifty camera work. Yeah, I'll be back with more of the same soon. Can't say it's going to be any more dramatic than we've had already, but I feel that the drama is at a fairly high level. Catch up with you soon. Cheerio.